Hey everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with you here today with an article from the Daily Wire dated September 7th. This is my second attempt going through it because for some reason this did not record the first time. Actually, it recorded the screen and me doing everything. It just didn't record the actual volume of my voice at all. So we're doing this again. So the article says steps descending in a 2,000-year-old biblical site where Jesus healed a blind man unearthed by archaeologists slash report or says report. And this is what it looks like. And I think this is incredible stuff. And I'm always into this sort of historical stuff, and especially if it like goes into like Old and New Testament sort of stuff and proving that the stories uh that we all heard as children are were true, and these are actual places and people that existed. It says archaeologists in Jerusalem have reportedly unearthed steps descending into the pool of Siloam, where biblical records show Jesus Christ healed a blind man over 2,000 years ago at one of the most significant heritage sites in the world. Says it's exciting to be a part of a story that's bigger than ourselves, to be a part of bringing a story to life that has significance not for millions, but for billions. Zev Orenstein, director of international affairs for the City of David Foundation, told Fox News Digital. It says the discovery comes amid an excavation project in the ancient city of the Middle East, carried out by the Israel Antiquities Authority, the Israel National Parks Authority, and the City of David Foundation, which works to preserve and develop the city and its environs by connecting people through different faiths and backgrounds in Jerusalem. So the construction crews and archaeologists began working on an excavation project at the historic site of biblical Jerusalem in 2004 after a large water pipe south of Jerusalem's Temple Mount at the southern end of the ridge known as the City of David burst, according to Biblical Archaeology Society. And I find it funny, it's just like a complete accident. And then they're like, oh, geez, we found like this actual, like massive biblical thing, like that's just crazy to me. And it reminded me of I think there was a story within the last couple years of like some dude was doing some metal detection like up in England, and like found a treasure trove of Roman like coins and stuff like that was worth a ton of money. So I mean, it's just like again a complete accident, and just by happenstance you find these things. Like pipe bursts. Here's where Jesus healed a blind man. Like, what the hell are the odds of that? Because in recent weeks, however, archaeologists discovered a set of 8 steps at the project site about the size of 2 Olympic swimming pools, dating back to the days when Jesus and millions of others used the pool as an ancient ritual bath. Says according to the Gospel of John, the story of Jesus and the blind man at the pool began when Jesus and his disciples encountered a man who had been blind since birth. The disciples asked Jesus if the man or his parents caused him to be born blind. Jesus answered that neither caused his disability, but rather the man had been born blind so that God's work might be revealed in him. Says, we must do the work of him who sent me while day lasts. Night is coming when no man can work, Jesus said. While I am in the world, I am the light of the world. Jesus then made clay made from the, or then put clay made from the ground and his saliva over the blind man's eyes and said to him, go wash in the pool of Siloam. Today we'd say that's probably very unhygienic, but obviously when you're dealing with Jesus himself, it's totally cool. It says the blind man went to the pool, washed the clay from his eyes, and returned with his vision restored. I'd like to see somebody try that. I'm kidding. Don't actually do this, but to have that tried today and see if that actually does work. But I think the missing ingredient is Jesus. So again, do not try that. That would probably be really bad. This construction of the pool reportedly began more than 2,700 years ago when Judean King Hezekiah first ordered the digging of a 1,750-foot tunnel into the city of David to bring water from the Gihon Spring, which lay outside the city wall, inside to a city pool on the opposite side of the ridge, according to the Biblical Archaeology Society. Hezekiah foresaw the likelihood of a looming attack from the Assyrians and presumed the water supply would help the Judeans survive. The tunnel continued to carry fresh water into the part of Jerusalem that would lead to the construction of several different pools, including the second temple pool that Jesus knew. It was more than 2,000 years later, the biblical site revered by Christians and Jews worldwide marvels at the discovery. As the ongoing excavations within the city of David, the historic site of biblical Jerusalem, particularly of the pool of Siloam and the pilgrimage road, serve as one of the greatest affirmations of that heritage and the millennia-old bonds Jews and Christians have with Jerusalem, Orenstein said. The site, which runs from the Pool of Siloam in the south along the Pilgrimage Road and up to the footsteps of the Western Wall, Southern Steps, and Temple Mount, represents the most significant half mile on the planet, he added. So there is no half mile that means more people that affirms Jerusalem's biblical heritage, not simply as a matter of faith, but as a matter of fact. Yeah, and I think that's again, like I said earlier, I think that's awesome that all this stuff that people just kind of like leftists like to throw on like, oh yeah, well that book you have, and it's like, well, no, that this is real stuff, dudes. And I hope it keeps getting proven true because I think maybe that'll bring God back into the world because that's what Western society is desperately missing these days. So if we can prove that this stuff actually was a thing, okay, then I think that's a huge deal. Says I'm obviously living in a time where so much of the biblical heritage is being questioned. To be able to be unearthing all this historical heritage of antiquity that shows that whether for Jews or Christians, that you could see it, you could touch it, you could walk on it, that really our heritage in Jerusalem going back thousands of years, not simply a matter of faith, but a matter of fact, being unearthed here in the city of David, he added. In January, Reverend Johnny Moore, president of the Congress of Christian Leaders, told Fox News Digital, in the Pool of Siloam, we find evidence of history preserved for us, revealed at just the right time. Theologically, it affirms Scripture. Geographically, it affirms Scripture. And politically, it affirms Israel's unquestionable and unrivaled link to Jerusalem. Some discoveries are theoretical, he said. This one isn't undeniable. It is proof of the story of the Bible and of its people, Israel. I don't disagree with that. It says visitors have accessed a small section of the pool previously excavated, but the city of David plans to open the entire historic site once crews complete the project. It's a big responsibility and it's also a big privilege, and the best is truly yet to come. Ornstein said, God, I really hope so. So, what do you guys think about this from a historical and even a biblical perspective? What do you think about finding this? I think this is just really, really interesting. And again, like I said a couple of times, I hope it brings God back into the world for everybody because it is, God is sorely needed. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.